Hey everyone, Hikiko here. Well, I'm coming at you with some good news this time. They defused the CBOMB. So that's been going around the news right now. I've had some people, subscribers, other content creators, and just people on Twitter just been like, hey, did you hear? Did you hear? I did hear, and I'm very happy to hear it. I've been reflecting on the whole CBOMB series of videos I made and really never thought they would go anywhere or people would listen to them beyond my just established subscribers. A lot of you came in and were introduced to this channel through that, so in some ways it's going to be a huge part of my channel's history. You know, if I want it or not, it's just how it is sometimes. Big news, and I don't want to give Sony a backhanded compliment here, like, oh, thanks, but, you know, you were kind of jerks to us who were investigating the thing, but that's the honest truth. We all went out there and tried to reach out to Sony about this and communicate the problem. We tested our own consoles. We got feedback from Sony where they said, well, we don't know, the CBOMB doesn't exist. What are you talking about? So in many ways, it feels like we were gaslit by Sony, but do the ends justify the means? They did exactly what I said they would do many videos back. They would keep quiet, because quiet is free, quiet is safe. It's a PR tactic, if you will. There have been people nonstop since this story broke tweeting at PlayStation trying to get an answer, and they have not replied. They probably won't. Why would they admit this flaw? If they say something, they're gonna draw all this attention to them. They win nothing in the end, okay? They stand to win more if they stay silent. If they somehow patch it out during the end of life. Could still happen. So that's what they did. They remained quiet, and they silently patched out the CBOMB. Now, from my understanding, you can still earn trophies when you have a CBOMB PS4, but they're not time-stamped or dated. There's really no way for it, I guess, to report back anyway in a CBOMB scenario where the servers are down and your CMOS clock, your kernel clock's out of sync. So this is a problem that they specifically created. And we may never know their true intentions. Could have just been an oversight in programming, but I feel that it was meant to either protect PlayStation Plus games, which are still locked out. So if you have a CBOMB scenario and you can't connect online, your PS Plus games won't work. That's understandable because you're only licensed to use them for several months. But it was not okay for the discs and your own digital content to be locked out. So thankfully, for the sake of preservation, you're able to now play your disc games on your PS4. There has not been any official news on the PS3 front, and that's where I got started. The PlayStation 3 still has a CBOMB for the digital games. The physical, just fine. They're just fine. I think the PS4 was a bigger problem in my mind, because the homebrew side of things are not as accessible as the PS3. The PS3, you could, if you wanted to, soft mod it within 10-15 minutes of just Googling it. Almost every variant of the PS3, pretty easy to do. But the PS4, a lot more difficult. And you have to have a really low firmware, and even still, it's not like a full-on cold boot exploit. You have to go through a web browser and reactivate the exploit to get it that way. Now, that may change in the future, but it's just unfair. It was unfair to the people like me, like this guy wearing an Okage Shadow King shirt making a video, who spent all that money buying physical games for the whole idea behind a physical game, ownership. So it's good that they've addressed that. Right now, the PS5 is being tested. There were some issues with some digital games and the odd game here and there. Not as bad as the PS4, but there was still some evidence of a CBOMB in the PS5. That's being tested right now. If I hear anything about it, I'll let you know. But I think the lesson learned from all of this is, and I've taken this to heart, is never cared about console wars. This was never about console wars with me or with any of the people testing this stuff. It was just concerned gamers, okay? We bought this stuff. We were under the implied contract that we would own these things and we should be able to play these things. And two, I don't think Sony really cared all that much until we started saying something. The power of our collective voices together made this change happen. And it wasn't just me. Like, my videos would have gone nowhere if it wasn't for IGN India and journalists like Rishi Alwani out there who picked up this story and listened. And then there were other big YouTubers out there that kind of signal boosted it, like Mudahar and a few others out there that carried this story forward. So it just gives me a lot of hope in the future whenever we encounter these DRM things, which we will. DRM is not gonna go away anytime soon, but it makes me think about Microsoft and the Xbox and their hangups and the Switch and their problems with preservation too. It doesn't make it seem so hopeless anymore. And so for that, you know, as negative as an experience with the CBOMB as it was for me and other people out there testing it, because it was pretty negative. I will say it was a pretty shitty thing to constantly hear from, like, people who like Xbox or whatever, or people who love Sony come at you and call you a shill or call you this and that. And I'm like, no, I actually own all systems. I'm a collector. And I think this is a really bad thing. It's a bad precedence to set, but whatever. It's over. It does exist. It's been acknowledged silently by Sony and it's been fixed. And that, my friends, it made it all worth it. So with that said, I'll keep you updated if there's any more developments in this whole CBOMB saga. But I just wanted to kind of put some closure on this situation. I'm glad it's over, and thanks for watching and sharing the videos and getting the word out there, because it made all the difference. Anyways, I'm Hikiko. See y'all next time.